Patrice O'Neal said, "You're a fish. You can't tell me how to catch you."
Right.
See, the bottom line is women like to believe one thing because that's the media. That's what they've been programmed to, because that's what sells products. Show me a competitive MGTOW in the real world.
Right.
Show me a CEO, vice president. Show me a guy who's going to the CEO club but top in sales. Show me a person who's performing at a high level in the real world who claims to be a MGTOW. Here's the thing about this whole MGTOW, and it all kind of blends into this. Okay, turn off the volume. Show me a competitive MGTOW in the real world.
Right.
Show me a CEO, vice president. Show me a guy who's going to the CEO club but top in sales. Show me a person who's performing at a high level in the real world who claims to be a MGTOW.
There you go.
Not somebody that you want to adopt, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Show me somebody who claims it. Because the thing about it is, competitive men don't have problems with women. Show me a man that's confident, intelligent, assertive, who's also competitive, intriguing, and aggressive, who's already bold, ambitious, and generous. And I'll show you a man who women follow like the Pied Piper, regardless if he wants them or not. See, you can't back away, like Myron was saying, from having women if women aren't choosing you to begin with. As far as younger guys parroting the talking points, this is big in my business, in the business of image and style. Because they look at a guy and they say, well, he reminds me of the guy who was the captain of the football team in high school. And when you're a freshman in high school, a junior or a senior is hella mega cool. But when you're 18, a 22-year-old was still the same senior in high school when you were a freshman. But to a 40-year-old man, both of you are boys. You don't know what it means to be there. You may have the talking points. I don't want to hear the talking points. Show me the scars.
Again.
Well, I mean, that's a good idea. That's a person you should not be following. Again, I think what we're focusing on is a lot of guys who tend to skew younger. And I will say this about that. A lot of times when they hear us talking about this, they're like, oh, those old guys. They're not up with the new sit. They're not, things have changed. Online dating has done this. I am still actively out there now. But I will tell you this, in my 20s, I call them the twinkling 20s. The closer I got to 30, the more I realized I didn't know it in my 20s, because you have to have the experiences. When people speak in broad generalizations, they have to speak that because they have or lack specific stories to tell you about something. You can say most of the time, or a lot of women tend to do these kind of things. But when you hear someone making these blanket generalizations, just ask them about some specific times it happened to them and ask them questions 3 levels deep. When did that happen? Tell me a little bit more about that time. And then what happened after that? And then what happened after that? And then watch them fall apart like a house of cards.
Thoughts. Why does the media, why do movies tell us nice guys don't finish last, they finish first? Be the good guy and women will flock to you.
Okay, here's the thing. The world works on archetypes. That's the premise of my business, as an archetype, because the brain is used to making things as shortcuts to get through life. The shortcut through life is that, of course, women would like a nice guy, because who wouldn't want a guy who's going to treat you nice and do this, that, do that? And that's what Lucario basically said, that women have to tell you what they have been programmed to believe. Patrice O'Neal said, "You're a fish. You can't tell me how to catch you."
Right.
See, the bottom line is women like to believe one thing because that's the media. That's what they've been programmed to, because that's what sells products. I mean, that's what sells products. And before I was in image, I was in advertising. Let me try to sell you on buying a diamond ring. Okay. Women are hypergamous and tend to want the top 10, top 20%, top 20%, top 10%, whatever infinite reach of men that they are out there. And the rest of them, they will talk nice to, but they'll use them as beta male providers. Are you going to want to rush to go out and take a woman out on a date and go buy her an engagement ring if you know you don't fit up there?